So he's going to cut $1 trillion, and then we're going to get rid of all these tax scams that hammer against America, and we're going to raise $1 trillion of revenue. And our objective under Donald Trump is to balance this budget. And I'm telling you, you watch it, we're going to do it.
If you get savings from these DOGE cuts, are you going to give any of this back to the American people? We keep hearing about these DOGE dividends.
Well, think about it. Donald Trump announces the External Revenue Service, and his goal is very simple. His goal is to abolish the Internal Revenue Service and let all the outsiders pay. I mean, this is someone who is focused on America. Let's drive down our waste, fraud, and abuse. I'll give you an example. Cruise ships. You ever see a cruise ship with an American flag on the back? They have flags of like Liberia or Panama. None of them pay taxes. None of them pay taxes. Every super tanker, none pays taxes. Alcohol, all foreign alcohol, no taxes. This is going to end under Donald Trump, and those taxes are going to be paid, and Americans' tax rates are going to come down. That's what Donald Trump wants to do. Balance our budget and cut our taxes. I mean, imagine a Democratic senator going against that. What planet are these people on?
Every single day, the new Trump administration is blowing to smithereens yet another facet of the Democrat deep state regime. What you just saw there was our brand new Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, announcing that it is Donald Trump's ultimate goal to officially abolish the IRS and replace income taxes with tariffs. It's all part of a stream of executive orders that are reshaping the entire federal government like never before. And it's only been a month. We're going to look and show you exactly how everything you need to know as the Trump train continues to steamroll Washington, leaving the Democrat Party in total and complete disarray. Hey, gang, you know we look out for each other here on this channel, and your health is our number one priority. So if you're one of the 100 million Americans struggling with all the weight gain and loss of energy that comes with a fatty liver, you've got to try Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement. It contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the USA, and it's approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below right now, you can try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive. Click on that link below right now or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley. We've never seen anything like this. That is how the ultra leftists over at the New York Times are depicting what has happened over this last month. We have never seen anything like this, like we've seen in the past 4 weeks. It's the, it's the month that literally remade the nation. You'll recall Lenin's maxim, there are decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. And in these last 4 weeks, officially commemorated yesterday on February the 20th, we have witnessed nothing less than an entirely changed nation, and with it, an entirely changed world. Politico reluctantly acknowledged the 1-month mark of Trump's presidency by mourning the loss of its taxpayer gravy train, the end of the millions of dollars that Politico used to get from USAID. And they wrote, quote, "Since January 20th, Trump has reshaped everything, and the workings of America's federal government from the workings of America's federal government to its relations with allies and foes overseas, from its approach to war and peace to its stances on trade and foreign aid, Trump has stretched the Constitution to its limits, upended historic law and order norms, transformed the conversation around deep-seated social issues, and he shows no sign of slowing down." There you go, Politico. See ya. Axios led with this headline: Trump's MAGA month transforms America. And the article begins, quote, President Trump's first month in office has exceeded the wildest dreams of even his most loyal supporters and the darkest nightmares of his fiercest detractors. Both groups can agree the America that Joe Biden left behind on January 20th is no longer recognizable, erased in 4 frenetic weeks by an empowered, implacable, and historically popular MAGA presidency. And that Axios report is absolutely right. Trump's popularity, the popularity of MAGA, is through the roof. His approval rating just keeps getting higher with every passing week. According to Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen, Trump's approval rating among America's youngest voters between the ages of 18 and 39, is the highest of any group. 56% approval, a near 60% approval rating among America's youngest voters. Overall, he's at a 52% approval rating, according to Rasmussen, one of the most accurate pollsters of 2024. And for the first time in years, a plurality of voters believes the nation is headed in the right direction. By contrast, only 22% of voters approve of the Democrats. 22 freaking percent. That's a 30-point gap between President Trump's approval rating and the Democrats. I mean, it does not get more embarrassing than that. Congressional Republicans' approval rating, for that matter, is double that of the Democrats. In fact, nearly 70% of the country right now as we speak, 7 in 10 Americans cannot stand the Democrats. They despise them. And we can see this in the changing dynamics of the electorate. Voter identification is clearly trending dramatically towards the Republicans, unlike anything we've ever seen. Here's Harry Enton of CNN.
Trump and the Republican Party has changed the electorate. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at party identification, Democrats versus Republicans. You go back to 2017, 5 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. You go to 2021 when Joe Biden was starting out, look at that. 6 points more of the electorate was Democrats than Republicans. But look at what's happened in February of 2025. Look at this. Republicans, there are more Republicans in the electorate than there are Democrats. Republican +2. So Donald Trump and the Republicans have remade the electorate. They've turned some people over from being Democrats or independents to become Republicans. New folks have entered the electorate who are more Republican leaning. And so when you combine that with the fact that Republicans are really, really behind Donald Trump, all of a sudden you get a winning recipe whereby you break the normal rules of politics and give Donald Trump that positive net approval rating when he had pretty much a consistently negative one in term number 1. As I said at the beginning, he's copying Frank Sinatra, doing it my way.
You gotta love Harry. I mean, he's only right about half the time. Unfortunately, he does work for CNN after all, but he's brought back, single-handedly brought back the expression, holy moly, holy moly. That was leading up to the election. He always has a great turn of phrase, but he's absolutely right here. Republicans went into November 2024 with a +2 voter identification advantage, according to Gallup. And that voter identification is the single most accurate indicator for who wins the White House as well as Congress. So Trump went in with a +2 Republican electorate, according to Gallup. And how much did he win the popular vote by? +2. So this is the key indicator that we need to constantly keep our eyes on. And we're seeing it everywhere. Take a look at this. This is awesome. These are what you're going to see here. Yeah, excellent. These are the latest numbers coming out of the otherwise deep blue state of New York. Look at this, gang. The Republicans just gained 72,000 voters on Democrats in the month of January alone. The Democrats lost nearly 50,000 voter registrations in freaking New York. You heard that right. The Dems lost nearly 50,000 voter registrations in January, whereas Republicans gained over 23,000. That's a 72,000 voter registration swing towards Republicans. And Scott Pressler is reporting that we're just 89,000 registrations away from flipping Pennsylvania. Freaking Pennsylvania. If you don't know, it was just a few years back, Democrats had a 1 million voter registration advantage over Republicans. There are over 1 million more Democrats registered in Pennsylvania than Republicans. Literally just a few years ago, when Trump first won Pennsylvania back in 2016, he overcame a Democrat advantage, registration advantage of 600,000. That, you know, a lot of working class Democrats who had not yet changed their voter affiliation voted for Trump back in 2016. But now we're just 89,000 registrations away from actually flipping Pennsylvania officially red. And we're going to do it. It's just going to be a matter of months from now. It's absolutely astonishing. Remember, Pennsylvania is the new Ohio. Pennsylvania is the new Ohio. And then New Jersey will be the next. It will be the new Pennsylvania. And then I think it was Data Republican would say then Connecticut will be the next New Jersey. And then New York will be the next Connecticut. That's the trend we're seeing everywhere. It's absolutely astonishing. Voter identification registration is clearly trending Republican all across the country. By the way, if you want all these articles and all the data and the tweets and stats, just click on the link in the description below and you can get all of these articles and tweets actually emailed to you. It's a service we love to provide for you absolutely free, so you have all this data right at the tips of your fingers. But frankly, gang, we have not yet seen anything. Yesterday's 1 month mark was crowned with the confirmation of the final nail in the deep state's coffin. The one, the only Kash Patel was officially confirmed as the new FBI director. Let that hit you. Cash only, man. No credit, just cash. That confirmation alone, when you think it through, that's going to be enough to basically destroy the deep state at its very core, at least particularly in the way the deep state has been weaponized against American citizens, including first and foremost President Donald J. Trump. The FBI has been spying on him and harassing him and interfering in our presidential elections and politically imprisoning American citizens for years now. And all of that has officially come to an end in the last 24 hours. The very day that officially marked the official 1 month of Trump's shock and awe administration. Of course, Kash has consistently outlined a threefold vision for the FBI. First and foremost, he's planning on changing the location of the agency, relocating it most likely into the heart of a solid red state, and thereby changing the culture, the ethos of the agency to reflect more of a red state value. Secondly, he wants to break up and distribute their concentrated power. So that would involve breaking up some of the agencies and outsourcing them to other investigative bodies throughout the federal government, Homeland Security under Kristi Noem, or the Treasury Department and their investigative bodies. There's a possibility of breaking up the FBI into 4 or 5 agencies, with one responsible for counterintelligence, another one for counterterrorism, another one for complex white-collar crime, another one for cyber crimes. And thirdly, there's the essential component of transparency and declassification. So this has been a big thing that Kash has been promising for a while now. He wants to establish a 24/7 declassification office. So that would involve, of course, releasing Epstein's Black Book, releasing the files on the Kennedy assassination, which they're supposed to do. The CIA is supposed to do FBI, is supposed to do within the next couple of weeks, releasing the files on 9/11, aiming for greater transparency in government operations, but also exposing the FBI as what it has been over these last several decades, an agency of the deep state in terms of how it's been harassing and imprisoning American citizens for their own nefarious political purposes, and expose the various ways in which the deep state has undermined the democratic integrity of our republic. So we really are seeing the end of the old deep state, both domestically with Kash and the FBI, and internationally with Tulsi as director of the national intelligence and her oversight of the CIA. It's pretty astonishing stuff. And again, we're just 1 month in. We're just 1 month. Oh, and let's not forget about the southern border. How dare we forget about the southern border? Here is White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller.
Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%.
95%. I mean, again, in literally 1 month. In just 1 month's time. I mean, I can't even get over the Trump administration in 4 weeks did what the Biden administration told us would take literally years. Who remembers Oklahoma Senator James Lankford? Who remembers that? You know that guy? There he is. Yeah, what a weird looking dude. Oklahoma Senator James, do you remember what bill this feckless rhino proposed just mere months ago? You remember that? It was the so-called bipartisan border bill. And we now know, thanks to Doge, that whenever we hear this term bipartisan, it means a bill written by Democrats for Democrats with a rhino getting bought and paid for to sign on to it. Bipartisan always means Democrats buying and paying off Republicans. That's what bipartisan means. Bipartisan means a Republican was bought off. It was a bill that Joe Biden said he needed in order to do literally anything at the border. It was a bill, again, let this hit you. It was a bill that actually allowed for 8,500 illegal border crossings every single day. If that bill had passed, it would be law for our nation to allow 8,500 illegal migrants crossing the border every single day before the border could even be considered to be closed. By the way, President Trump, if you don't know, that 95% reduction, he's reduced that number to its lowest level ever, just to a couple of hundred a day. And those are attempted illegal border crossings. Virtually all of them are caught and apprehended by Border Patrol. But, and again, I need to underscore this, if the Republican James Lankford got his way, we would be allowing upwards of 8,000 border crossings, illegal border crossings per day, every single day, before Homeland Security would even consider closing the border. And is it that bad enough? The actual border shutdown wouldn't be activated unless Mayorkas, the former feckless Secretary of Homeland Security, said so. There was no automatic tripper to shut down the border. It was the Homeland Secretary. It was the Homeland Security Secretary's sole discretion, which, of course, he already had. Biden and Mayorkas could have shut down that border completely at any point, at any second of their tenure, without so much as a smidgen of congressional approval. That's the whole point of executive power. And to make matters even worse, perhaps the single most devastating provision of that ridiculous bill, sponsored by a Republican, is that it would have given the utterly feckless Mayorkas and asylum officers the unilateral authority to directly grant asylum to illegals without congressional approval. I mean, this is the utter sure. And then Republicans wonder why nobody votes for them. I mean, this is the charade that sellout Republican rhinos were engaging in just mere months ago. Shenanigans, by the way, they would be really happy if you forgot all about. Everything President Trump is doing at the southern border confirms it was all a lie. Every bit of it, every syllable out of the mouth of CNN was a lie. Every single thing that was pushed during that whole bill debate and the fiasco that followed its the fallout that followed from its collapse. Every legacy media's assertion that it was Trump who's responsible for breaches at the southern border because he personally killed that bill. All of it was a total abject lie. A lie. It wasn't misinformation. It wasn't disinformation. It wasn't inaccurate. It was a blatant, evil lie. We did not need a stupid, corrupt, amnesty-granting border bill. We simply needed those in charge of the executive branch, whoever the hell they were. We still don't know who was actually running the show back then. We just needed them to do their damn job. We just needed those DEI hires in the White House to do their damn job. That's it. Trump is proof that congressional and senatorial Republicans never, not at any point ever, had to capitulate to the Democrats. It was all a complete and total lie. Hey there, Dr. Steve here, and I got a question for you. What if you could go back in time and get in on the Bitcoin era when it was still just under $1? Or buy a prime real estate before the market exploded, say, in Manhattan? Or invest in a company like Tesla before the whole world caught on? Well, that's exactly where we are right now. The parallel economy is exploding like never before. New financial opportunities are opening up, and those who see the shift and take action early are the ones who will prosper the most. That's why I'm hosting a live 90-minute event on February 27th called the America's Golden Age Summit. Now, I'll be joined by some amazing expert guests who are going to show you how to position yourself for massive success in this new era. But even better, what exactly to do in this new era. It's a truly one-of-a-kind, game-changing event. Click the link, grab your spot, and be a part of America's Golden Age Summit. Do not miss this chance to get ahead. I can't wait to see you there.